Hello students, we will now start with the easiest topic of your syllabus, the topic called as budgetary control. Alright, if you ask me, I will say that this topic is a pure common sense topic. If you understood the basic theory part well, and at the same time if you have common sense, which is not very common, if you have that, then in that case, even if you don't study this topic, if you attempt a particular question, I guess you will be able to solve it. Alright. Now, first of all, from exam point of view, I will just explain you the relevance of this particular topic. First of all, as I am saying that this topic is very simple, I've seen that students are normally of the notion that if a topic is simple, that is not gonna come in our examination. Well, let me tell you, my dear students, in this case, you're wrong. This topic is very simple, but at the same time, this is asked quite often in the examination. Alright? So, understand this topic, it will be like a bonus marks for you. Okay? Now, from exam point of view, I will divide this topic into 4 parts. First part will be flexible budget, cash budget, then functional budget, and of course the theoretical part. Okay? Some common theory are asked to you in your examination. Amongst these 4 parts, flexible budget is the most common one from exam point of view. Okay, a maximum number of times you will find a question on flexible budget. Alright, cash budget is such a topic that it will be very difficult on your part to make a mistake there. The only possible mistake in cash budget is a silly mistake. Alright, production budget, pure common sense. Sorry, not production budget, functional budget. Functional budget, pure common sense, nothing else. It's a common sense topic. Okay, we will understand that. I will tell you what is it. And of course the theoretical part, a few theory, only a bit of theory. A common theory is asked in your examination. So if you cover that, that will be enough. So a pure bonus topic. Alright. So in this part of budgetary control, as you have seen already that we are dividing our study into parts. So budgetary control will also be divided into parts. In this part, I will tell you about the basics, what budgetary control is all about, and at the same time we will be discussing the main theory. So the most important theory being something called as zero-based budgeting. So we will be discussing that. We will start with that. We will cover the theory part here, and then gradually we will move on to the other budgets. Alright? Yes. So what budgetary control exactly is? So you can see that it's not just the word budget, they have mentioned a budgetary control. So you can very well understand that this is something very important for the management. Alright. Budgetary control is basically a tool used by the management for, you may say, the decision making purposes only. How? See, what management does is, it doesn't move without planning, as all of you know. Always management will move ahead with planning. So when it comes to planning, at the planning stage, what they prepare is called as budget. Now, you can take an example. For example, if you think about your pocket money, all of you must be receiving some pocket money. So when you receive the pocket money, you definitely plan about the spending of that. How much, sorry, how much of the pocket money should be spent towards petrol, or towards the food expenses, daily food expenses, tea, coffee, etc., etc. Then how much should be spent towards on girlfriend and similar things. Alright. So you must be planning that, correct? So if you are planning, think about it. If you are carrying on a business, won't you be planning? Definitely you will be. So now you should know that how much is my earnings? How much will I earn? And if I am earning this much, how much should be my spendings? Right? You should plan that. Your spending should not exceed your income. At the same time, when you are doing business, you should always have a goal. You should always set a goal. Like in life, you always set a goal. Similarly, in the business, you should have a goal. And in business, the goal is normally speaking in the form of a profit. You should aim, you should target a particular profit. I want to earn this profit. But if you want to earn this profit, my dear friends, profit can't be earned by doing abracadabra. Right? To earn that profit, you need to make some sales. So you will apply the marginal costing techniques, right? What we have learned in marginal costing, desired profit. If you want to earn a desired profit, how much sales should be made? So you will be calculating the targeted sales, right? Once you calculate the sales, after that, you will be thinking about, okay, if I have to make sale of these many units, I may be having some stocks, but at the same time, I also have to produce a few units. So how many units should be produced? You will budget that, right? Besides that, that is called as production. How many units should be produced? The production budget. After that, if you have to produce these many units, you need raw material for that. So to produce these many finished goods, how many units of the raw material should be consumed? How much labor hours should be needed? Right? So you will be preparing the consumption, the labor hours, and all these kind of budgets. Right? You will be doing all these financial planning analysis before you start with the actual activities. Right? So at the beginning, you will plan, okay, I will be doing these things. Then later on, you will be getting the actuals. Now the budgeted data and the actual data, when you compare them, you will be able to calculate the variances, right? Then after that, you will go for the study of the variances that you must have learned, or you will be learning in the topic called as variance analysis or standard costing, right? If you have already seen the video of standard costing, then you know that budget, always the budget is taken as the base there, right? So basically in this chapter, we will be learning how to make different types of budgets, alright? But it is not just how to make the budget, it's budgetary control. It will be basically with the help of these budgets, how control techniques can be exercised, right? This is what we'll be learning in this particular chapter. Are you understanding this? Now, my dear friends, what do you mean by a budget? The basic question always that comes to the mind of everyone. What do you mean by budget? Is budget simply thinking about the future? Okay, what I will do, I will be doing this, I will be doing that. Only that much? No, my dear friends. Budget is basically forecasting the future. Not only that, but basically relating to the business. We will be forecasting something which is related to the business, and at the same time we will be quantifying them. Quantifying them means whether either we will be quantifying that in terms of rupees or in terms of units, or maybe something else. Like for example, if it comes to cash budget, we will be quantifying everything in terms of rupees. Flexible budget, we will be quantifying everything in terms of rupees. Sales budget, production budget, we will be quantifying in the form of number of units. Labor hours budget, we will be quantifying everything in terms of number of hours, right? Just guessing something is not budget. We have to forecast and we have to quantify them in some or other manner. Alright? That is basically a budget. Alright? Normally speaking, how a budget is made? You can take the example of your home, maybe. Okay? What happens? Usually speaking, the budget is prepared at your home also. And in that case, what happens? Normally speaking, we take the data of the last month maybe. Last month, how much did I spend on groceries? How much did I spend towards the payment of salary of the servants? How much did I spend on petrol, etc., etc. You will be seeing that. After that, you will be thinking about that. Okay, if I spend on grocery this much, in this month, I will be spending this much. This is a festival month. There will be a festival in this particular month. So as a result, perhaps I will be spending some more money on sugar. We have to make various sweets. Festival season. So some money, more money on sugar or similar things. And accordingly, you will be planning. Okay, last year this much. So this much, last month, if it was this much, this month, it should be how much? So this is how you will be, normally speaking, making a budget. So similarly, in your business world, what happens? We see the data of the last year. What was the last year's data? How much was spent towards material, how much was spent towards the employees, how much was spent towards advertisement. You will be calculating that. Then you will be also taking into consideration the last year's under/over absorption. Under/over absorption means last year you budgeted something but the actual details were something else. So there was some under or over absorption. Friends, under or over absorption is not something which is just to be calculated and accounted for. If you know that there was an under or over absorption, this means either it was a fault on your side, you budgeted something wrong, or otherwise it was out of your control. Okay, so we have to study that. If it is because of our fault, then we need to correct that, right? So taking into consideration the under/over absorption, we will quantify them, we will correct them. What should be the present now? How much spending should be made now? So all these things will be covered in a budgetary control. Alright? Now, we will come to the very important theory discussion, something called as zero-based budgeting. Zero-based budget. What do you mean by that? Frequently you will find a theory question on zero-based budget. What do you mean by that? A very simple concept. Zero-based budget. What do you mean by that? Zero base. There won't be any base. Let's understand that. See, when it comes to making a budget, normally speaking, what happens, as I told you, that we take the last year's data as the base. Okay, we spent so much in the last year, so I will be spending this much in this year. That is called a budget. We will prepare normally speaking like that. But just think about it. If you make like that, if you make a budget like that, then what you must be observing? You must have seen the advertisement expenses, suppose, of the last year. And you don't observe any under/over absorption there. There was no discrepancy in the budgeted and the actual data, suppose. So in that case, you will take the same advertisement data in this year also. Same money. If you take the same money here, just think about it, my dear friends. Can last year's advertisement be justified in this year also? Perhaps you might need more advertisement this year, or you might need lesser advertisement this year. Correct? Every year is a unique year in itself. If you take the base of something else and based on that you take your decision, don't you think that is wrong? So that is why zero-based budget, what the concept is, don't take anything as base. Normally speaking, we take the last year's data and we compare to that data and prepare this year's budget. Zero-based budget says don't have anything as the base. Don't keep anything as the base and think now that if you have to spend this much, how much money should be spent, why it should be spent, with justification, prepare the budget now. That is called as a zero-based budget. Alright? In zero-based budget, we will be involving the management. We will be asking them how much is, what's their planning basically, how much did we spend. We will be telling them, okay, we need to spend this much on advertisement, this much on material, this much towards employees, we have to pay so much to the so much as bonus to the employees. We will gather all the expenses and then we will look for the justification, the cost benefit analysis. If we spend so much, are we getting the benefit out of that? All these things will be considered together and then the budget will be prepared. That is basically a zero-based budget. Okay? A few points that you need to remember as far as zero-based budget is concerned are these. Okay? If a question is asked on zero-based budget, don't forget to write these points. Alright? In this video, we discussed about a few basic points about budget. Okay, alright? A few theoretical points. But now, we will be coming to the practical area that is asked in your examination quite frequently. So, we will start now with the cash budget, the simple one. Then we will gradually come to the flexible budget. And then we will discuss the functional budget. Alright? I'll stop the video for now.